What's going on, everybody? My name is Ethan. Welcome back to Hardcap Games, another episode of baseball. You know where we are this time? Where are we, Griff?
We're at Fenway.
Fenway, baby! We were sitting around at home, and we were like, we've been to every minor league ballpark in the Northeast, but we haven't been to the mecca of baseball. How can we do that? How can we get away with that? So, I think it just means that we just have to, head on down to Alewife and take a train into Boston and go see the Red Sox get their butts kicked by the Houston Astros. Griffin, we made the Fenway. We have finally made it. The pavilion, the grandstand. It's like coming home when you come to Fenway, Here's the team store. Home plate team store. That's it. That's the store. Yeah, Griff, you could definitely rock this. If only it didn't cost $120. Alright, take your guess. Jersey unmarked, how much? I'm gonna say it's 210. 200, there we go. I know how this place works. So if I gotta be completely honest, just because this is my home stadium does not mean I'm gonna rate it any differently. I have to be fair. I can't just give it 1,000 out of 100 just because it's Fenway Park and it's my place. I have to be fair and judgmental, right, Griffin?
Yep.
So far, Fenway Park compared to other places does not really compete.
No, it does not.
The bathrooms are small. They're cramped. They don't have walls between the urinals. They're dirty. Look around. This concourse is dark. It's not doing fantastic on a lot of fronts. But that's what you get when your stadium is how old?
112 years old.
112 years old, exactly. I've actually never seen this thing before, but it's an entire wall about players like Mike Lowell and Jim Rice, David Ortiz, Ryan Dempster. Like, some of this stuff in here is like, that's pretty cool. Oh, this is like the base that Dave Roberts stole. Ethan, put up a clip of that right now.
Waiting for his first pitch. Roberts is going. Posada's throw. Roberts safe.
Thank you, Ethan. I love this ballpark so much, man. It's awesome. There's no way this was our logo for a decade. When in Rome, get lobster. They have an entire section for gluten-friendly food, which is awesome. Look at all these things you can get. Fenway Frank, the original. It's got a gluten-free bun. See the hot dog. Here's the thing, it might be sacrilegious. This is a 3. They got an entire section here dedicated to bobbleheads, and the thing shakes that they bobble. Look at this. Rest in peace, Larry and Wake, man. And cancer sucks. See, Duncan Park, it's not hard. Just put in the dunks. They got virtual reality home run simulators in here? That's crazy. A big old grandstand down here. The burger kitchen, that place looks really good. I bet I would eat every single one of those things on there if I could. So the most commonly acknowledged issue with Fenway Park is the seats. You just dripped ranch all over your shirt. Good job. But these seats, they're not lying. I mean, look. I'm 5'11". I'm sitting as far back in my seat as I can. They were built for different times, right, Griff? One thing I'll say, Griff. Do I know how to pick my seats or what? I mean, look, you can see the entirety of Fenway from here. The fantastic seats. Even though the seats themselves aren't great. They're fantastic seats.
Too skinny.
They're not like too skinny. Like I'm touching both sides. I'm a bigger guy. But Griff's got his 3 things of ranch for his 5 chicken tenders and his fries. Classic Griffin moment.
Of course.
That's right, baby. It's Yellow Sox Saturday! Spencer Arrighetti. Foolish Bailey, A's franchise legend. You know why I chose to sit here? It's because every shot of this game is going to look exactly like this. Boo! Boo! He's a bum! Good call, I agree. There is a Jumbotron over there, but I just can't see it because, you know, Fenway. Damn it, Jordan! Whoa! Josh, I need you to not be a bum. Please strike him out. So Griff, when are you gonna get a job with the Woo Sox or the Fisher Cats?
And there it is.
And that's it. Man, Spencer Arrighetti has a no-hitter going. That's insane. We should continue to talk about how he has a no-hitter in the third inning. No-hitter, no-hitter. And he walked. There we go. We got a base runner.
They all to wear these uniforms in the playoffs.
Yeah, they wore them a couple times last year. Or not last year, last time they were in the playoffs.
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't think they made the playoffs.
No, they've had these since like 2019.
No, it was 2021 and they've been past that.
No, they made it in 2021. They played. They lost to these guys in the ALCS.
Oh, what was that?
That was the Kyle Schwarber year, or the half year. Jaron, please hit a dinger. You go, David. 2-run dinger.
Or base hit.
Or a base hit. That works too. That sucks. Our in-game entertainment consists of the crew every third inning. Yay! Also BTS gets to play. It's a bullpen day. Brad Keller.
Lucas Garcia just went out to the bullpen.
Oh. Oh, we got a new pitcher already.
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin of Coldplay.
Between Brad Keller, Luis Garcia, Chris Martin, and Kenley.
And they're all old. That's why we just drafted 10 receivers in the first round.
Receivers?
Jesus Christ, pitchers. In the first, like, 10 rounds. Don't correct me, Griffin. It's bad for the brand. Uh-oh.
Easy Bob, what you say now?
Zaydan's got it. Boys, this is unacceptable. That's Spencer Arrighetti. We need to stop doing this. I like how they have the Larry Lucchino and Tim Wakefield things up.
Yeah.
I like that. Can we stop striking out looking at Spencer Arrighetti? Oh my God, Rafi. I was just about to say how much his decision making's gotten better, but clearly not. This is my message to everybody. If you don't like the Red Sox City Connect jerseys, fine. But if you don't like them because you don't understand why there's yellow and blue, take a history lesson and look up what the flag of Boston is first.
Also, the Boston Marathon.
And the Boston Marathon, which is based on the Boston flag. Like, it makes sense when you look at it. Just because it's not red doesn't mean it's bad. Man, we're at the top of the sixth, and it is 5:25 p.m. This game's gonna be over by 6 o'clock. Gonna finish 2-1 Sox. Because I'm still counting on Devers hitting a homer.
Well, it's already 5:30, so they might not finish by.
Well,
A little over an hour in, we're in the sixth inning.
6:15.
Let's see what happens.
All right, great. Now Alvarez is up with a man on first after a walk. That never bodes well. Whenever you want Alvarez to be at the plate, he's never at the plate. Whenever you don't want him to be at the plate, like really, like I cannot have this guy right now, he's somehow up. I don't get it. I don't know. I couldn't tell. This zoom of my phone is as good as my eyes. So are far too many freaking Astros fans at this stadium today. Throw it back! Throw it back! Throw it back! Brad Keller considered themselves an op. Yay! Yay, Massa! Woo! Thank you. Reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. Good times never seen. So good, so good, so good. The glare of the sun over here is hot, that's for sure. These are hot seats. We could have sat probably actually in those seats right there, Griff. Duran's going. Stand up, there we go. Got second and third. Second and third for Willier. Come on, Willier, let's go. Oh, come on, drop it, baby. There we go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Willier. Woo! Yeah, this Jumbotron, they got that Jumbotron, they got this Jumbotron. We're all blocked by athletes. We couldn't see it earlier. I feel like Chas McCormick has led off like all nine of these innings as the 9-hitter. Every inning, this guy's at bat. Actually, to be fair, that's fair. He's led off every other inning. Good job, Chris. We're talking about Chris. Come on. Foul, foul, foul. Oh my God. Foul. It's still left of the pole, left of the pole. Or to the right of the pole, right of the pole. He almost took off someone's head is what he did. Can we not let him do that, please? Like, geez. There we go. There we go. All right. Climbing up the top sails, I lost my leg. Chas is playing deep. I don't know what good it's gonna do him when this ball's hit to me.
He's been all the way back.
Rafi, now would be a great time to give me a home run ball. Oh! 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 Off the wall! Off the wall!
Get out, get out, get out. Oh! He dropped it, he dropped it.
Oh man, he caught it. There is no good way to capture this with that sun right there. Alright, well, down to our last strike. Not preferable. Let's go, Romy! Oh, in the dirt, in the dirt, in the dirt. I have to go like this to block the sun from the lens. Come on, Romy, let's walk it up, buddy. Damn it. All right. Never the result you're looking for when you go to a baseball game, but it's always a blast. Ooh, nice mist. It's always a blast to go to a Sox game. Wouldn't you agree, Griff?
Oh, yeah.
It's always a fun time. Boston, we're gonna rate the stadium. I don't know if I want to know what score Fenway gets, but hope you guys enjoyed. We'll send it back to the booth. Tally the score. Thanks, Ethan. And with that, let's tally the score. If you want a breakdown of how this was all scored, you can go to the link in the description. That has a video entirely talking about how I graded every step along the process. But also make sure you stick around to the end because I need to explain something about how I rated this. Fenway Park is in downtown Boston. It's the biggest city in the entirety of New England, and being that, it's really hard to find parking in downtown. The way it makes up for that, though, is through the T. There is plenty of parking at the T stations, especially the ones on the outskirts of town, like at Alewife or Sullivan Square. I actually don't know any of them south of Boston because I've never had to go south of Fenway Park ever before in my life. But you can park at a train station, take the train to the game. The T is relatively cheap for a two-way. I think it's $4. So it's not too bad. As long as you're willing to give yourself an extra maybe 30 to 40 minutes to make your way to Fenway, it's not horrible. But if you did really want to park like at Fenway, good luck. So for that reason, I'm gonna give the parking a 3 out of 5. The exterior of Fenway is iconic. It is, in my opinion, frankly, beautiful. I love Fenwayville. Just like the entrance by gate A down to gate B on the first base side, it's just fantastic. I love it. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. You know, it's got some great curb appeal. Like when you walk by, you go, that's a beautiful ballpark. And then the surrounding neighborhood is pretty good too. There's a lot of restaurants around. There's music halls, like the House of Blues is right nearby. There's also the MGM Fenway, which is actually kind of like built into Fenway on the back side. So there's a ton you can do there. So it's gonna get a 10 out of 10 for the exterior. Now this is the part of the video where I start making other Red Sox fans mad because no, Fenway is not going to get a perfect score because it's not a perfect ballpark. For instance, the concourse is going to lose a bunch of points. It's going to get a 3 out of 5 for the cleanliness because it's kind of dark and dank down there. The brightness is going to get a 1 out of 3. It's dark in Fenway. A lot of the time, even for a day game, it's really, really dark down there. But they do have a team history wall, a Hall of Fame, a standings wall. They have a thing for Larry Lucchino and Tim Wakefield, who passed away earlier this year. So there's things out there. However, the concourse is going to get a 6 out of 10. Similarly, the concourse entertainment, it's a major league ballpark, and that's a distinction that we have to make. So unfortunately, Concourse Entertainment is going to get a 0 out of 5, but hold off on your angry comments down there because I'm going to explain something later on. Personally, I think the bathrooms at Fenway are really bad. They used to have troughs to go to the bathroom in, like instead of urinals, but it's still not great. They're kind of cramped. They're small. They're not really clean, but they did get rid of the troughs, but the bathrooms are going to get a 2 out of 10. The quality of the food is going to get a 4 out of 5. I know I gave the hot dog a 3, but the french fries I had, and Griffin said his chicken tenders were actually really good, so I decided to give it a point back, so it's going to get a 4 out of 5 for the quality. They do have an entirely gluten-free stand, similarly to Lehigh Valley. It is right behind home plate though, so if you're literally anywhere other than the expensive seats, you're walking a mile to go get your food. They do have the ice cream / nachos helmet. They do have some unusual or unexpected foods. They have a lot of local breweries, like I don't want to call Sam Adams local breweries, but they do have some other things around. And shockingly, I wasn't too offended by the pricing at Fenway. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but I wasn't overall too offended, so I'm going to give it a 1 out of 1 for that. That means that the food at Fenway is going to get a 9 out of 10. The biggest problem with Fenway, and if you ask any Red Sox fan, they will agree with you, is that the seating is the worst. The front half of every section has those more updated plastic seats like the ones we had in Manchester or the ones we had in Lehigh, but if you're up in the grandstand, you're sitting in those old wooden seats from like when Jackie Robinson was playing. They're not comfortable. They're not angled in a good direction, so you're constantly like turning your head to go look at the game. It's really uncomfortable. Your knees are up against the seats in front of you. It's built for a different time where somehow everyone was skinny but also 5'6". Not even to mention the fact that they have all those giant poles just creating obstructed views everywhere. So if you're unlucky enough to get the seat that has an obstructed view, you're out of luck. So for that, the seating is also going to get a 1 out of 5. The backdrop of Fenway, though, is beautiful. It is iconic. I love it. Even if I wasn't a Red Sox fan, I think I would still say it's really cool. The green monster, the Sitco sign, the city of Boston skyscrapers out there. It's beautiful. Backdrop is getting a 5 out of 5. Now, from where I was sitting, I couldn't see half of the Jumbotrons. But a couple years ago, Fenway went in and added in actually a couple more Jumbotrons, which is kind of cool. But the Jumbotrons are nice, they're big, they have good graphics packages, they're high quality, they show replays anytime an extra base hit happens, which never happens anywhere else. So the Jumbotrons are gonna get a 5 out of 5. The in-game entertainment is non-existent, because that's a minor league baseball thing, and we're gonna talk about that more in a second. What I am gonna do, however, is I'm going to give them 2 points for Sweet Caroline. The atmosphere when Sweet Caroline happens is just phenomenal. It's really hard to beat Fenway during the middle of the 8th. It's really hard to beat it. I have yet to go to a stadium, professional or minor league, in baseball that just meets that level. Red Sox fans and Bostonians in general are just psychopaths. We understand that about ourselves. It's kind of like our calling card. We just know that we're just crazy. We booed a fellow Sox fan for not throwing one of Yordan Alvarez's home run balls back onto the field, which is kind of funny, I think. But the crowd atmosphere is phenomenal at Sox games. Even when they stink, Sox fans come out and they're hoping to see a win, no matter what. Even if the season is over, they're hoping for a win. So the crowd is going to get a 5 out of 5. Red Sox uniforms are some of my favorite. I love them. I love yellow socks. I love red socks. I love white socks. I love gray socks. They're phenomenal. I love just the entire set. Maybe that's the homer in me being from Massachusetts. I think they're great. Their uniform's going to get a 5 out of 5. Fenway's one of the only parks left in the country. I think there's maybe 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, including Fenway, that actually have an organist that plays music sometimes, which I think is really cool. And they also have audio and they have DJs. They have also now synced lights on the field, because before it was just kind of like the heat lamps, and now they have actual LEDs and they're able to do cool things with it. Audio experience and the visual experience accompanied with it is really awesome. I'm going to give Fenway a 5 out of 5 for it. The one thing that really confuses me about Fenway is the fact that when you go, if you want to go to a team store, you should just go outside, because there's a bunch of stores outside. But if you come into the place and you're looking to buy stuff, it's wicked expensive. And the store behind home plate where most people enter, if you enter from gate B, which is the one out in the right field corner, there is actually a larger shop there. And I actually didn't even know that shop was there, to be 100% honest, until I went back last night to the Twins game on the 20th of September. And I entered from that gate and I saw it there, which is crazy because the last time I went, I sat basically in the same seats. But there is a second team store there. So I am actually going to give them a 3 out of 5 for their team store. They're not crazy big. They're wicked expensive though. The mascot's gonna get a 5 out of 5. It's Wally. Now, I mentioned earlier I wanted to talk about adjusting this score a little bit, because what I learned through this is that Major League and Minor League Baseball are almost different sports in some ways and how they're presented to fans. Major League Baseball is the one that really counts, right? It's the one for the World Series. You're going for the championship. These are the best players. So the product they're putting out there is not a product focused on fan engagement and entertainment. We're playing baseball today, and we're going to focus on playing baseball, which is why they lost a couple of points in some other sections. Namely, the concourse entertainment is really bad, as well as there just being no form of in-game entertainment. So what I actually want to do is, in order to compare and make these a little bit more fair, I wanted to put Fenway on a similar course with these other stadiums. So what I did to the score was I actually took out the in-game entertainment and concourse entertainment aspects of it, because it's just not a part of Major League Baseball's presentation. So when I do that, it goes from being a 66 out of 100 for Fenway to a 64 out of 85, which when you do the math out, brings it out to be closer to a 75.294111764. So if we say that Fenway got a 75, that does put it on pace with Somerset, which would still make it be one of the worst stadiums that we've seen. The charm of Fenway is the fact that it's so old and so historic, but there are those things that just kind of make the experience a lot harder to enjoy. Like the fact that the bathrooms are so bad, or that the seats are just uncomfortable and you have no leg room. And those are things that Fenway could probably improve on. But as we know from watching the Red Sox in the last couple of years, why would they ever spend money on improving the product? That's not what ownership does. Because here's the thing, I love Fenway. It's fantastic. I will always go to a game at Fenway. If someone says, hey, want to go to the Sox game tonight? Absolutely, I will drop what I'm doing and go to Fenway. Because it is Fenway. And eventually, Fenway might not be there anymore. But if we're rating it objectively, does it compare to other stadiums? It doesn't really compare to other major league stadiums outside of the historicness to it, which I think is why people put Fenway really high on some of their lists. Some people will say Fenway is a top 10 ballpark in the country, but I feel like if I were to do this study at every major league ballpark, I think that I'd find that Fenway is middle of the pack. Because obviously there's places like the Trop that are just really not nice. Or the Oakland Coliseum, rest in peace to the Oakland A's, they're playing their last game there tomorrow. But even when I went to Wrigley a couple years ago, I said, you know, this place could use some tune-up. I'm not going to rip on Fenway too much, because at the end of the day, I have to remember that this place was built in 1912 and hasn't undergone many major renovations since then. Now, should it? Probably. But I think Fenway is still fantastic. So we're going to call the score officially, even though it's a 66 out of 100, we're going to call it a 75%. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know what your favorite minor league ballpark has been throughout this entire series. And with that, we've been to every minor league ballpark we're going to this year. The season wraps up and we're out of here. But don't worry, there will be more sports content to come. In fact, I've got to leave in 3 hours for my next thing. Check you guys in the next one. Peace.